our wellness series, Continuing Education. My name is Diane Del Reyes. I'm a licensed acupuncturist. I'm a diamond with doTERRA. And a couple of years ago when the pandemic hit, my cross-line sister, Dr. Rose, and I and her leader, Lori, and my leader, Claudine, all came together and said, let's start this series and let's make sure we have a way to continuously connect and educate our community. And so we started offering this, and we did it probably for a good year and a half when the visionary leader, Aaron Fugate, who most of you know, asked us, hey, can we join your little party? And we're like, yes, of course, all are welcome. The more, the merrier. And the bonus to that is we have a new breadth of speakers too. Like we have, I'm going to say, like, we're pretty good at this. Like, we've kind of got this down and we have good educators, but it's so nice to hear perspective. And so even when you've seen these, been part of these classes before, I think it's really important to come with a beginner's mind. I learn something new every single time I hear these. Even like a 101 class, I hear something new. So get ready, because Dr. Rose, who's a naturopathic doctor, I'll let her from Portland, and has an amazing practice. I've been blessed to be in her space and get to know her over the last 9 years and call her a friend and colleague. And I don't know if I said I'm an acupuncturist that started my practice in Portland, but so it's just been such a blessing to get to know Lori and Dr. Rose and everybody in this community. You are in really, really good hands. And we are very passionate about this plant medicine. So I'm going to shut up and let Dr. Rose take it away.
Awesome. Way to kick it off, Diane. I'm Dr. Rose, like Diane said, and I'm just so thrilled to be able to speak to you today about some of my favorite topics. And my favorite way of teaching is really to make it pertinent to you. So if you have questions about the supplements or about nutrition, please put them in the chat. I know we have a wide range of people in the audience today. Some people who have been using these products for many years, and some people who are really brand new to doTERRA. So if you're somebody that has a lot of experience with these products, would you just also chat in your testimonials and your experience as I go along talking about these products, because there's so much great information that I can't possibly share it all. And one of the best ways that we support each other is by sharing our own personal experiences. So with that, I'm going to share my screen.
Dr. Rose, while you're getting your screen on, I just want to remind everyone that if you registered for this, make sure you just register once. You don't have to register again. You're going to get all the reminders to join us. And after each of the classes, you'll receive a follow-up email that has the recording and some downloads that you're going to want to check out. So be looking for those. Those come to you about 24 hours after our class today.
Awesome. And I don't know if this is officially the way we're doing it, but I think it's a great idea to connect with the person who invited you to doTERRA, and just, at the end of the presentation today, just text them your top 3 takeaway points that you got out of this presentation, to make sure that they know you were watching it, and to just get the dialogue going. So let's see, just a little bit more about me. This is my name of my practice is Rose Cabinet Medicine. I live in the Rose City, Portland, Rose City. My last name is Rose, and I just love rose medicine. It is so good. So I just like to say, let's see, a little bit more about myself. I was a chef for most of my adult life until I decided to go back to school and get my naturopathic medical degree. And so I'm really passionate about the topic of nutrition. And I want everybody to know that food is our first medicine, right? We cannot overcompensate for a bad diet with oils and supplements. It just doesn't work. We still need good sleep, move your body, eat real food, um, and manage your stress. And those are really the foundations of health. So I want to make sure everybody understands that. And I would say my own personal journey, my health journey, as well as my professional life, food and nutrition has been the key thing that's given me the biggest leverage in improving my health, figuring out which foods are really good for my body and which foods I need to eliminate. And I will say that is just not this, we can't say the same thing across the board for everybody. So that's a personal journey to take to figure out which foods make you thrive. And the supplements and nutritional supplements that we're going to talk today are really just that. They're supplementing a healthy diet. Um, so the other thing I like to start out the class with is just my experience working as a physician in the natural medicine field, and then also connecting with the doTERRA community and teaching these classes. One of the things I love about connecting with people in the doTERRA community is how engaged people are in their daily health routines. So that is a model that we teach, that it's really the habits of daily practice that are going to move the dial on your health the most, as opposed to the current um, medical model, which is like wait till things get really bad and then go to a doctor and get a pill or a surgery or something like that. So we're talking about empowering ourselves and each other to take care of most of our daily health habits on a daily basis. And that's what's really exciting for me. And I see big changes in people's health when they engage like that and take responsibility for their own health. So sometimes people, ask, well, why do I need to take a multivitamin, for instance? I eat a healthy diet. And in fact, that used to be my belief as well, that if we ate a healthy diet, we shouldn't need to take pills, right? And I still believe that on some level, except for the fact that our industrialized agriculture system has been robbing our soils of nutrients for years and years. I would say at least since World War II, when we've gone into big monoculture industrial agriculture that uses a lot of synthetic chemicals to put nutrients in the soil or to protect from pests and that sort of thing. So we do not get the same nutrients from even a healthy diet that we did even 50 years ago. So unfortunately, our foods have been robbed of nutrients, and then we also have really gone far into convenience foods, and people have forgotten how to cook and do mostly takeout and fast foods. And that is not just, robbing your food of nutrient or robbing your body of nutrients. It's actually causing so much of the inflammatory conditions that we see these days. Um, I would say as a naturopath, I hear functional complaints that doctors don't have a solution for. People feel tired all the time, or achy, or they have skin issues that don't really have a name or a diagnosis. And a lot of these are really just getting our foundation in health, drinking enough clean, fresh water, eating really good food, getting a foundational supplement routine. And then the wisdom, our body's wisdom, can then heal ourselves, because if we provide the basic foundations of health, then the wisdom of our bodies can work. So, what are we talking about when we talk about foundational nutrition? Um, there's so many different biochemical pathways in our body, and what do I mean by that? Uh, our body has to make uh, neurotransmitters that make our brain fire and make our moods balanced and appropriate for paying attention in class, for instance, being able to wind down and go to sleep, having good, healthy relationships. And to make our neurotransmitters or our hormones or our proteins that are building blocks for our muscles and bones, we need all these biochemical reactions to happen in our body. So we take the raw ingredients, and then the body takes enzymes and builds the materials for our neurotransmitters, for instance. And if we're missing the nutrients that act as those catalysts or those enzymes, then we don't get the end product. We don't get that dopamine, for instance, to help us focus at our job or schoolwork. So all the nutrients, and oftentimes they're minerals and vitamins that are needed to build those building blocks, sometimes are missing. So what do we notice when people start improving their nutrition from the ground up is, I just have more energy to get through my day. I have increased mental clarity to do my job or to make decisions about my life. And I would say the other thing that I hear quite frequently is more balanced mood and deeper restful sleep. So important. And of course, we have a picture of a heart here, so we're going to talk a lot about our inflammation systems in our body and how that affects us. So in doTERRA, we have these foundational nutritional supplements called the Lifelong Vitality Pack. And I'll go into a little more detail about each one, but just as a little story, as a naturopath, we're trained to use professional grade supplements. We are educated on the difference between, a supplement that you might find off the shelf at your Walmart or Costco or Trader Joe's versus something that is high level. It's been tested to make sure it's exactly what it says it is in the bottle, and no heavy metals or other things that you don't want in the bottle. So when I was introduced to doTERRA in the beginning, I really just focused on the essential oils because I already had professional grade supplements that I used with my patients. And I kind of thought, well, what does an essential oil company know about supplements? Well, turns out I was wrong. And a lot of us here in this community know Dr. Josie Schmidt, who's one of our other naturopath educators in our community. She really dove in and did all the research onto all the ingredients and where are they sourced from, and are they in a high enough level to be actually therapeutically beneficial to us. Because sometimes, you get those supplements that have a million ingredients on the back and there's not really enough of, say broccoli powder in there to be actually therapeutic. So doTERRA really takes the time and does the research and has these really cutting edge vitamins, and they're really high quality. So one of the reasons they are high quality is because they are food grade, food based nutrients that our body recognizes. They're not like a synthetic molecule that our body has to process in order to use. It just recognizes this as food, nutrition. The other thing I love about it is they're not mega vitamins. They're just supplemental vitamins to a healthy diet. So we're not putting a bunch of extra nutrients in our body that we need to process and then eliminate because it's too much. They have essential oils added to the capsules to help help our body utilize the nutrients, help us absorb them, and help us not have a rumbly tummy after taking them. So just while I'm chatting about these supplements, I know so many people in our community have had really profound life-changing experiences just from starting to take these supplements. So if you have a story from your own life or somebody on your team, feel free to chat it through the chat. I'll just tell my own story. I'm sure many of you have heard this before, but if you're new, my husband, my dear husband of 32 years, has given me permission to tell his story. And he has struggled with chronic depression his whole adult life. And it's usually seasonally related. And so, you know, he's a teacher too. So he'd go back to school, feel good. And then by November, usually would start to really go down into the depression, and then would be the dark months of the year would be really hard for him. And one year, gosh, it's probably been 4 or 5 years ago now. One year I thought, what can I do to support him? You know, just something to make his life a little bit easier. And so he had already been started to take the LLV, but you know, I don't know about you, but when you don't feel good, sometimes you don't remember to take your vitamins. So I would just put his vitamins in a little cup by the bathroom sink so that he'd remember to take them when he brushed his teeth in the morning. And he, you know, was very grateful and appreciated that. And so I kept doing it. And that was the first year that we had a Christmas with the family where Ned was not depressed. And you can imagine that impacted not just Ned's life, but my life and our children's lives. It was a huge gift. And then in January that year, he was feeling good mentally. And so he decided he wanted to make some changes in his diet. He was ready to lose some weight. And he had tried to follow, you know, different diets in the past and was not ever successful in sticking to something, you know, how difficult it is, especially when we don't feel good. So he had this foundation of the Lifelong Vitality Pack, which gave him, you know, the motivation and feeling like he could do it to make some diet changes, which then really helped him feel even better. And then he built on that by starting a meditation practice and started exercising regularly. And I think you're starting to get the idea here of what it means to have foundational nutrition. It's something that lifts you up so that you then have the energy and the focus and the motivation to do all the other things that are part of building a healthy diet. So lifelong vitality is really a wonderful place to start. We have the Z Omega, which is our essential fatty acids. Sometimes people get essential oils and essential fatty acids mixed up. So fatty acids are things like fish oil. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about real oils and fats that our body, they're essential to us because we can't make them in our own bodies. We have to take them in from our diet. Really important for brain health, joint health, skin health, and they really help with inflammation as well. And then we have our Microplex VMZ, which is our basic multivitamin and mineral supplement that's food-based and that provides all those cofactors and enzymes that I was talking about for all our biochemical pathways. And then lastly, the Alpha CRS is a really great blend of antioxidants and really real inflammation quenchers. So now we know in the health and wellness field that inflammation is at the root of so many different chronic disease patterns, including depression. Oftentimes, depression can be basically brain inflammation. And so that may be one of the reasons why Lifelong Vitality Pack is so important for people with unstable moods. If you haven't taken the Lifelong Vitality Pack before, I often recommend starting with half a dose for a few days or a week just to let your body become accustomed to taking it, and then move up to the full dose when you are stable at that half a dose. And if you are elderly or have lots of chronic problems and tend to be really sensitive to new supplements, you can even start with a quarter dose and work your way up from there. All right. So we talk about gut health, and what we mean, I mean, really, it's everything from our putting the food in our mouth to all the way through the intestines and all the way out. And that's how we absorb our nutrients. And in the natural medicine field, we talk about gut health as like it all starts at the gut. So if you have, if you have skin problems or this or that, oftentimes you have to really get your gut health working in order for those other health concerns to resolve. So it's really, really vital and important. And we like to say, you're familiar with the old adage, you are what you eat. But what's more true is that you are what you absorb. So if you are eating a healthy diet, but it's just passing right through you, or if you have leaky gut, which means those bigger proteins from your diet are getting into your bloodstream and causing more of an inflammatory response, then you're not getting the benefits of that good, healthy diet. But how do we get problems with our gut health? So junk food is a big culprit, overuse of antibiotics, poor sleep habits, stress, all these things, inflammation causes those little tight junctions in our intestines to loosen, and then it gets leaky, and that leads to more systemic inflammation and can even trigger some autoimmune and allergies and food sensitivities and that sort of stuff. So if you find yourself with not so perfect digestion, here are some really great products to start with. Our Terrazyme is really replacing and augmenting our digestive enzymes. So our enzymes are what help our body break down the food into small particles so that then we can absorb them into our bloodstream and use them. So if your enzymes aren't working properly, you might feel bloated after eating meals, or you might feel like the food just sits in your stomach for a long time. I'm sure there are other things I can't think of right now. So the way that you're going to use the Terrazyme is with your meals. So ideally, before you eat, to prime the pump and get your digestive tract ready to absorb the food. But if you forget before you eat, it's still beneficial to take it with the meal or after the meal to give your enzymes an extra boost to break down that food. And then you can also take Terrazyme away from food. And, why would you want to do that? Because the enzymes act as, you think of them as like little Pac-Man, like gobbling up inflammatory proteins that might be loose and around. So a typical prescription for somebody would be take one Terrazyme in the morning on an empty stomach, one with each meal, and then one at night on an empty stomach. And then you're decreasing your inflammatory load and helping your body digest all those good foods. And then we have two kinds of probiotics, PB Assist and PB Assist Junior. You do not have to be a kid to enjoy the PBSS Junior. They're like little pixie sticks, and they're also a great way to sweeten a beverage. So if you are still drinking sugary beverages and would like an alternative, our essential oils are so great in all sorts of different beverages. And you can use the PBSS to sweeten it with a little sparkling water. Maybe Erin will share her Coca-Cola recipe in the chat. I think Erin's here. So why do we need probiotics? It's building our healthy gut microflora, which you're probably familiar with unless you've been hiding under a rock for the last 20 years. So important. Our microbiome is important for our mood health. It really affects our brain function. It educates our immune system, so we don't have an overactive or underactive immune system. Probiotics in our microbiome help us transform nutrients into nutrients that are necessary and available for our body. There's just so many important aspects of our microbiome that go beyond just digesting our food and helping us absorb it. So really foundational. These products, even if you don't find that you have problems with digestion, try them for a while and build up that microbiome. See what else benefits from that. All right, so we have some different supplements here that I'm going to talk about. And so if you have any questions, feel free to chat them through there. Our Deep Blue Polyphenol Complex is I don't know. I would hate to have to decide which one's my favorite, but I really, really, really love this product. We know our Deep Blue oil line is great for aches and pains and muscle joints. And sometimes people get confused because they're like, well, we can't use Deep Blue internally, so how is it a pill? Well, this doesn't have the Deep Blue oil in the pill, but it's something to use with while you're putting the oil on topically or the rub. You can use these capsules internally. They act like an herbal anti-inflammatory, which is what they are. They're really chock full of really good herbs like curcumin, you've heard of turmeric, frankincense, which we have frankincense oil. This is the frankincense, the whole herb, green tea, pomegranate, ginger, all these amazing anti-inflammatory herbs that are really powerful. This is a supplement that is also very protective for cellular health. Wink, wink. It is, I think on the label, it says you can take 1 capsule twice a day, but let me just educate you that it is quite safe to be used at much higher doses. So if you have an injury or some sort of acute aches or pains or headache, you can dose it 2 capsules 3, 4, 5 times a day quite safely. I also love using this product for anybody who has a uterus, who has menstrual cramping. You're going to want to start preloading the Deep Blue polyphenols before your period starts. So maybe 4 or 5 days, start taking 1 capsule twice a day to kind of let your body load the anti-inflammatories. And then as soon as your cycle starts, you can dose at those higher doses to bring down the cramping pain. This is one that's in my medicine box every day, not just because I have arthritis and aches and pains, but I think I would take it anyway for my brain health and for cellular health. So, oh, and then we have our Adaptive, another one that flies off my shelf in my medical office. This is a really well-designed blend to help with our stress response. So many of you know that we are amazing human beings and we're designed to respond to acute stressors. Our heart rate goes up, our muscles get more blood and blood sugar pumped to them so that we can run away or fight. And then after the danger is past, our body calms back down and goes back to maintenance and repair and digestion and all the things that get shut off during a stress response. But as we know, these days our stressors are not those kinds of acute stressors. We have chronic stressors, and we don't know when the pandemic is going to end, and is the election going to go through, and what's happening with my children's school. Are they going to be in person? And all these different stressors that are keeping us in a state of chronic stress. So adaptive really has been designed to help our bodies respond to stressors without being stuck in that chronic stress response. We have some herbs and some oils in this beautiful blend that are both uplifting and calming. It's such a beautiful blend. And I know a lot of you have great testimonials to share about adaptive. Feel free to share them in the chat. And I will say the way I like to recommend people use adaptive, if you haven't used it before, is for a month, you want to take one capsule twice a day, maybe once in the morning, once at night. And what you're doing is you're kind of allowing your body a month to adjust to a baseline of calm. And then after that month, you can stop taking it for a while and really evaluate, what do you notice? What's changed? Oh, I feel more edgy. I can't focus as well during the day, or maybe it takes me longer to fall asleep at night, or I wake up with my mind racing. And then you can take that information and choose to use adaptive in several different ways. You can use it, you can continue to use one capsule twice a day. That's a great dosing regimen. Or you could, maybe you notice that you really love using it during the day because it helps you with your mood and your focus, keeps you from being irritable with your kids or whatever, but you don't need it at night. That's one option. And then another option is that adaptive works very well as needed. So it's not something that you need to build up in your system for it to have an effect. After that trial month, you might find that you really just need it on days when you are feeling really stressed out. And then you can take one or two capsules on an as needed basis to deal with your stress. Here we have our Tumeric Duo Capsules. Again, turmeric is such a well-studied herb for having a healthy inflammatory response, helping our brain, helping our recovery from stressors, fighting oxidative stress with that antioxidant. That deep orange color is full of polyphenols that really quench inflammation in our body. And the design of this capsule is very unique in that it is a dual chamber capsule. So we have the herb in one capsule and the Tumeric essential oil in the other capsule, and that helps our body absorb the nutrients and the herbs from them. So this is another one that's really, our bodies really crave, and is just so supportive of reducing the inflammatory load in the body.
Dr. Rose, I have a quick question about this, about the turmeric. It was the first time I heard you. See, this is why I said at the beginning, you learn something new every time. So people often hear when you take curcumin, so turmeric herb, you need black pepper for the absorption. Are you saying the turmeric, the essential oil, does that in place of the black pepper as far as absorption?
That's what I understand from
Okay.
doTERRA, that they did the research on this design of the capsule and found that the way that they designed it with the tumerones and the essential oil helps the body absorb it. I know that,
That's awesome.
yeah, it is. It's really
That's
great.
cool. Yeah, Erin is concurring here. That's awesome. Thank you.
Mhm. All right, so I used to use Serenity capsules a lot before we had the adaptive. Serenity capsules are designed to help with sleep, but I would use them during the day to help with calm mood and focus. Now that I have adaptive, I would say I recommend that more often during the day. But Serenity is also a really great blend of herbs and oils that really are tonic to the nervous system. So if you find that you're feeling edgy and irritable, can't settle down, can't feel calm, maybe your body feels agitated, try a Serenity capsule. They're not sedating like many sleep herbs can be, they're just calming. So, a great way to take these is pop 1 or 2 capsules about 30 minutes before you want to go to sleep. Turn off all your devices so you're not getting that blue light in your eye, um, and allow your nervous system to wind down before bed. Of course, I hope you're also using your oils at bedtime in the diffuser. Maybe cedarwood and balance are some of my favorites. Vetiver is a great one. And then putting oils on your body, maybe spraying a little Serenity on your pillow before bed. All of those things are going to help promote good sleep. And we know how important good sleep is to our health, right? So important. We have a couple of great products from doTERRA that help with our our estrogen balance in our body and our bone nutrients. And the way I like to teach about phytoestrogens is, and phyto just means that it comes from a plant, right? We have different estrogens that our body makes. We have some things called xenoestrogens, which are estrogens from the environment that are not healthy types of estrogens. We want to protect ourselves against xenoestrogens, and we want to protect ourselves against some of the estrogens that our body makes that aren't as healthy either. So, phytoestrogens are wonderful plant estrogen substances that are um, they're very mild compared to xenoestrogens or some of our own toxic estrogens. So the way they work is they come into our body and they actually dock in the estrogen receptors. And so if you are a postmenopausal female and you're not really making very much estrogen anymore, it's going to give you a little bit of a boost. If you're perimenopause, sometimes we have surges of estrogen and then drops. So the phytoestrogens are going to come in and give us a little when we have low estrogen, but also it's going to block some of those surges of estrogen, so maybe we don't have those symptoms, and also helps protect us from those xenoestrogens as well by docking in the receptor so that the other estrogens can't dock. So phytoestrogen is a great part of a healthy hormonal routine, as well as the bone nutrient complex. If you don't know, we really build our bone density when we're young. So we need to be having a healthy diet, not smoking and doing all those things that make bone building worse. We need weight bearing exercise. If we wait until we're in menopause to start building healthy bones, it's kind of too late. I mean, it's still a good idea. If you haven't, if you're my age and you haven't been building healthy bones, do start now. But if you're young, please know that the best time to build bone is when you're young. Oh, Mito 2 Max. Okay, one more of my favorite supplements. The Mito stands for mitochondria. So our mitochondria are little powerhouse battery packs in our cells. They kind of give us energy and help us with ATP. So important for function. So I think think of using Mito 2 Max for anybody who complains of low energy or fatigue. Sometimes I hear people describe feeling wired but tired. So this is a very typical adrenal, like I've been under too much stress for too long. I can't fall asleep well, but I'm exhausted all the time. But my mind is racing and I can't think straight. Think of Mito 2 Max for that. And then the way I recommend dosing it is 1 or 2 capsules in the morning. It does help with energy levels, so you don't want to take it too late in the day. But you can also dose it a second time midday if you're really finding your energy is flagging. It's perfectly healthy for that. Great if you're trying to wean yourself off of caffeine or other kind of stimulants. Our Zendocrine Complex. Ooh, chat it up if you love the Zendocrine Complex. This is another great one. There are herbs in here that help support all of our major emunctories, which are our organs of elimination. So kidneys, skin, liver, bowels, lungs. If you are somebody that tends to constipation, this is going to become your new best friend. I want you to take 2 capsules before bed at night. doTERRA recommends taking 2 capsules, 1 with meals, but I really like taking them at night before bed. Our bodies go through lots of cleansing and detox, sort of house cleaning at night while we're sleeping. And the Zendocrine can help support that. And then you have a really great bowel movement in the morning, which is always a thing to celebrate. And then you might know that we have a Zendocrine oil and a Zendocrine soft gel as well. So this has herbs, again, not the oils, but you can get the Zendocrine oil in soft gels or in the oil, and that is a great way to combine the benefits of those. Our Yarrow Palm here talks about cellular beauty, but again, it is really just really great antioxidants. So quenching inflammation in the body is going to lead to more beautiful skin. And there was a while there in the beginning of the pandemic that some of the we were having trouble getting some of the other supplements. And so we really looked at the ingredients on this Yarrow Palm, and that's a really great immune support too. There's zinc and vitamin C in there. I wanted to make sure everybody knows about our wellness programs. So you sign up for a track. We have immunity, respiratory, digestion maybe out, sleep, inflammation or body aches and pains. I can't remember what that one's called. Anyway, you choose your program and they curate your kit every month. You get new products and they teach you how to use them. And so it's a wonderful way if you're somebody that's like, I don't know where to start with all these things. Start with your Lifelong Vitality Pack and drinking enough water with your lemon in it, and then get yourself signed up for one of these wellness programs, and you will be led through a 3-month transformation of your health. Wouldn't be right if I didn't mention our nutritional support products here. We have some really great protein powders, high quality protein powders. I'm in love with the fiber supplement. I don't know about you, but Dr. Josie taught me that you can drink it with hot water, like a hot toddy. And so every morning I have my fiber. I put usually turmeric and green mandarin in with it, and then a squeeze of lemon juice and hot water, and I just love it. And the fiber not only is helping, helping with your bowels, but it's helping feed your microbiome. So when we take our probiotics, they love soluble fiber. So you're helping support a broad, healthy microbiome. And then also when we take fiber, soluble fiber, it helps with our bile and cholesterol levels and liver health, and it's going to help carry out excess hormones that our body is ready to get rid of. So I would say the fiber is a foundational supplement for me, and I would recommend for you as well. The greens are delicious. You could also add those into your hot toddy in the morning if you like. So people might be wondering, well, I think I need all of these things because they all sound amazing, but how can I possibly fit that in my day? This is one example of how people might organize a daily schedule. The way I personally manage taking supplements is I have all my supplements in my drawer at work. And because I don't really eat in the morning, and so I kind of have to wait until I have some food in my belly before I take the supplements. Diane is showing off her big old organizer, but I have mine in my drawer at work, and when I get to work in the morning, I open all the bottles and I put what I need to take in a little cup on my desk. And then I have my water or my tea, and then throughout the workday, I just make sure that I take all the supplements that are in the cup before the end of the day. And then, of course, if I am taking things at bedtime, that'll be not at my work desk, but in my bathroom. But if anybody else has great suggestions, I'm also always impressed when people learn that they can take more than one capsule at a time, that you don't need to take one at a time. You can pop, 3, 4, 5 in and swallow. But these are all little tricks just to manage your supplement routine. If you don't know about our loyalty rewards program, you definitely want to, because it's the best way to get the best deals on these products. So when you purchase the Lifelong Vitality Pack on your loyalty rewards, you get the option of adding on other supplements like the Mito 2 Max, like the Deep Blue polyphenols for $20 a bottle, which is incredibly discounted for us. So think of your loyalty rewards order as like a wellness box that comes in the mail every month, and you get to curate it and decide what you want to put in it and what you want to commit to. As you're making changes in your health, I would recommend really trying to stick to a protocol for 1 to 3 months before you decide whether or not it's helping. When we take things kind of randomly, our body kind of doesn't pay as much attention. It's like, I don't know what you want me to do. But if we have routine and regularity with our nutritional supplements, our bodies and our nervous system and our neurotransmitters and our hormones, they start getting the message. Oh, okay, you really want me to have good digestion. You really want me to go to bed on time. And all those things really add up and will make a big difference in your health. All right, let me pause for a minute and see if there's any questions.
We have a couple questions here. One, would Mito 2 Max be good for a person who's detoxing off of heroin?
Wow. I mean, of course. Because when you're detoxing off of any sort of drug, your adrenals and your neurotransmitters are going to be shot. So you're going to need to build those up again. I'm thinking yes, and that's probably not the only thing I would be using, right? Mm-hmm.
There's another question regarding Zendocrine. Would it be, I mean, I think I know the answer, but would it be good for a sluggish gallbladder?
Absolutely. That's a great idea. And definitely get that fiber going. And if you do the fiber with the lemon juice and the hot toddy in the morning, that's also going to help the gallbladder, because anything tart, bitter is going to help the gallbladder flush.
Is there a product for collagen?
Collagen support. I think the ingredients in the yarrow palm capsules support healthy collagen repair. I don't think any of our products have collagen itself in them, but the yarrow palm will help your own body make its collagen.
What about the bone nutrient? Would that be supportive?
I'd have to look at it, but I don't think it's the same. I think like for collagen, you want like vitamin C and zinc, and I think building bones is different, but
Got
there
it.
might be some overlap there. Have to look into that. All right. Shall we move on and chat a little bit about the business?
Absolutely.
All right. So I'm going to shift gears away from talking about the products and just talk a little bit about what it's like to do the doTERRA business. So we find that there are three basic kinds of people that come to these classes. There are people who are really ready to make a change in their own life and their own health. And like I said at the beginning of the class, to really sort of take more responsibility for their daily habits. And they're really eager to use non-toxic cleaning products and really start feeling better in their own lives and making a difference in how we're impacting the planet. The second type of person is probably doing all those same things also, except as their health starts to improve and as they use these products, they really can't stop themselves from telling their sister-in-law, oh my gosh, you really should start taking this lifelong vitality. My energy is so much better. My mood is better. Maybe they think their mother could use some help with phytoestrogens, and so they share the products with their mother.
Oops, I think she got knocked off of here. Um, well, we actually, let's see, because we lost the screen, huh? So I don't know, she's gonna jump back on. We do have actually, when you receive your follow-up email, you're going to receive a webinar that dives deeper into information on earning income with doTERRA. So let's see. Yeah, we did have a couple other questions. Diane, did you want to take some of these questions? I know some are more for Dr. Louise.
Let me see.
So
Yeah, I'm assuming she's going to pop back on. I was just looking at Christine. Your question is lemon juice required. Citrus fruits can't be used in regular dietary regime. And then you put a second part, lemon juice with use in the Zendocrine. So it's not required, the lemon juice, the juice of the lemon, but I certainly recommend, and I believe Dr. Rose would recommend the same, and Erin and Lori, the use of the citrus oils, which are not the same. The citrus oils come from the rind, whereas the juice is different. So the juice can, they have definitely benefits for each, but when you're working more with detoxification, the oil is going to be your best bet. And it won't have that same impact if the juice upsets your stomach. I don't know if that answers your question.
So Christine is asking lemon juice with the use of the Zendocrine. And I don't think, I don't know the reason why, but I don't think Christine can use the citrus oils. Is that correct, Christine? Yeah.
Got it.
Are there any other suggestions? Do you know?
For detoxification?
I think so. I think that's what you're asking, right, Christine?
So I would use the Zendocrine Complex, the herbal complex would be really beneficial. And, work with the supplements, which is going to have that naturally. And there was something else that just crossed my mind. The fiber powder would be good. So those are the things I would recommend. Louise's computer died. Got it. Okay.
And there is a another question is, how does phytoestrogen supplement help if you're deficient in a hormone such as progesterone, or does this supplement only provide estrogen supplement?
That is a good question. And I think of it mostly as the estrogen balancer. But I think the thing is, like, when your hormones are balanced, and you're balancing your estrogen, and it's going to, and you're working with the foundation of LLV, there's going to be a natural balancing. If you're very deficient in progesterone, and you need additional progesterone support, I don't know the answer to that, honestly. Sorry. I don't know if Erin, if you know the answer to that.
We do have, I know it's a few weeks out, but we do have an excellent hormone class that we'll dive into a lot of this too. Coming.
I think it's really, you know, the more that we can do on a foundational basis, right, the phytoestrogen is all about balancing. Exactly. So it's not like it has progesterone in it, but when you're working with plant medicine, it's really about balancing your hormones.
Oh, gosh, thank you for all the great questions.
So regarding regarding the if you want to dive deeper into understanding more about what's possible with the business opportunity, then one of the things that we're really going to recommend for you is, as a next best step, is first of all, talk to the person who invited you here. And secondly, Erin has made an incredible video that really helps you understand what's possible with doTERRA, like from not just like a financial perspective, but really about what it's doing globally, what it's doing holistically, how it can impact not only yourself and your family, but all the world around you. Quite honestly, it has an incredible ripple effect. And you know, whether it is that you're just looking to pay for your product, which we like to call natural free healthcare, or if you really want to create an additional supplement to pay for, you know, a mortgage or a car payment, whatever it is that you desire, if you want to go all in, we have tracks for you. So we really recommend you start by talking to the person who invited you and watching Erin's video. If you are in my organization, I have a similar video that I'm happy to share with you.
So thank you. So after this, so thanks for being here today. This is our first class. So again, I'm just going to remind you, you don't have to register again. We've had a lot of people register many times in the past. So just know you only have to register the one time you're here. So you're going to get the follow-up emails, and those will include all the documents that you can download if you'd like. The recordings, which you'll have access to until the end of this series. And we're hoping that we bring value and help you feel empowered to make and create your health and wellness plan. If you have any questions, just reach out to us or connect with the person who brought you here. So everyone have a wonderful day. Thanks for sharing your morning with us. See you next week.
Thank you. I just put a link, by the way, if you want to grab it really quick, to where you can find the Erin's video. hellovisionary.life. Bye.